Hi everyone, my name is Seane, and if you would please come into a comfortable cross-legged position or sit on a chair with the feet on the floor or wherever you're comfortable, and just sit up tall, palms on your lap or onto your knees. And I want to just take a moment to welcome you to the One Earth Live Festival and talk a little bit about why it is so important for us to be together in unity at this time. We have work to do, now more than ever, to wake up and do what needs to be done within ourselves so that we can, both individually and collectively, create a world that is free and safe and fair and equitable and unified and peace-filled for all beings everywhere. This is a time for us to turn in and look at the ways in which we have perpetuated the separation that exists, that give a lot to some and very little to others. This is the time for us to recognize the ways in which we have benefited from this separation, the way we have suffered because of this separation, and commit to doing the internal work necessary to heal the fractures that are within ourselves so that we can come together and make whole, which is what the practice of yoga is all about. So being together at this time in unification reminds us that we are all one, that our liberation is bound, and that we cannot be free unless we're all free. So we must go within ourselves and dismantle the perceptions of separation so that we can come home to the knowing that we are one. So sit up tall and close your eyes and just ground yourself here and feel into your body. The question you want to ask yourself first is just, how are you? How's your health? How's your wellness? How's your life? How have you been managing in this time of chaos and uncertainty? How have you been managing the stress or the overwhelm that you've been feeling? How have you been managing the relationships in your life with your partner, your children, or the isolation that you've been experiencing? Do you feel where that anxiety lives within your own body? Perhaps your shoulders, your chest, your belly. Take a very deep breath into your body. Exhale it out completely. Do this again. Take a deep breath in. And gently exhale it out. Now let's just take a moment to sit, knowing that in this moment right now, throughout the whole of this world, that there are so many other beings sitting and breathing, praying, and maybe dancing or chanting, all in the name of unity, in the name of healing, in the name of peace. And although we may be physically apart in this moment on the etheric, within our psyche, we are co-joined in the commitment towards peace. So let's take this moment to join all of these souls as our hearts open to this oneness. To this God within and beyond, and to this love that is who we are, have always been. And that we share like a cosmic heartbeat with one another in grace. And please place your palms into Namaste. So before we move any further into the physical practice, let's allow ourselves this moment to invoke into our hearts and into our space the God of our own unique understanding, be it your higher power, the creative consciousness, Mother Earth, or the Holy Mother herself, but to this grace we ask. May this practice be an opportunity for healing and awakening and remembering to occur, body, mind, and spirit. May we let go of everything that we think we know and be transformed, shifting our resistance into surrender, transforming our judgment into understanding, wisdom, and empathy, and changing our fear into faith. And may faith be the quality of being that moves us forward on this path. We ask, may this practice be blessed, and may the vibration that is cultivated within our collective hearts be offered outward into our planet in the name of healing, sustainability, equity, justice, and peace. And then together we offer this blessing with one single Om. Take a deep breath in. And then releasing your hands. You're going to turn onto your mat and come onto all fours. You're going to curl your toes under. Make sure that the knees or hips width apart. The wrists are directly underneath the shoulders. Inhale, arch your back. Keep the toes curled under. And then pressing into the arms, stretch back into downward facing dog. Look at your wrists and make sure that the wrists are shoulders width apart. Fingers are spread wide. Relax your head and neck so that the ears come along the upper arms. Then push down into the floor, stretching the arms as straight as you can. Slowly, if possible, begin to descend the heels downward towards the floor. You want to tip the tailbone up ever so slightly and press back into the inner thighs. Breathe into your body. Come up onto the balls of the feet. Walk your feet to your hands. Feet are together. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Hands onto the hips. Flat back, come up to stand. Bring your arms down by your sides and come into Tadasana, mountain pose. Find a focal point. Palms into Namaste. Synchronizing the movement with the breath, grounding yourself. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold all the way forward, hands down onto the floor, relax your head and neck. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, bend your knees a little bit. You're going to step your left leg way back, stay on the ball of the back foot. Come up onto the fingertips. Keep that back leg straight. Rotate your left hip forward. Pull the sternum off the navel and through your arms. Hold here and breathe. Let the breath keep you present. Hips up a little. Step the left foot to meet your right. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bend your knees. Step your right leg all the way back. Stay on the ball of the foot. Pull the sternum through your shoulders. Really lengthen the front body. Keep the right hip rotated forward. Back leg as straight as possible. And breathe. Feel the connection with your feet onto the earth. Lift your hips up a little higher. Step your right foot to meet your left. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up all the way. Arms reach. And exhale, pull the energy straight down to the center of the heart. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend your knees a little bit. Step your left leg way back. Stay on the ball of the foot. Come up onto the fingertips. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, put your left knee down. Lengthen the spine forward. Bend your right knee forward, trying to bring your right knee over the toes. Holds. Let that left hip pull forward. Extend your left toes away from you. Take 3 very deep breaths into the sensation you feel deep within the upper part of your left thigh, into your psoas muscle, and perhaps into the right hamstrings. Breathe. Keep letting the spine pull forward, maybe so much so that you can create an arch in your upper part of your back. The chin lifts slightly. Curl the back toes under. Lift the left knee up off the floor. Straighten the right leg a little bit. Step your left foot to meet the right. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bend the knees a little. Step the right leg way back. Stay on the ball of the back foot. Take a deep breath in. Exhale the right knee down on the floor. You're going to bend that left knee quite a bit so that the knee is angling just above your left toes. Keep the right hip rotated forward, then extend your right toes back. Breathe into the length of the right quadriceps and into the psoas muscle within the hip. Breathe. Chest pulls forward. Curl the back toes under. Lift the right knee. Lift your hips up higher. Step the right foot to meet the left. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up to stand all the way. The arms reach, hold. Take your right hand, grab the left wrist. Pressing into the feet, draw the tailbone into your body slightly. Stretch through the left arm. Exhale, drop over to your right. Looking down at the floor, breathe into the left side of the rib cage. Inhale, come up. Switch, grab hold of the right wrist. Reach through the right arm. Exhale, drop over to your left. Put pressure into that right foot so you don't dump into the waist. You want to lengthen and breathe. Inhale, come on up, both arms reach. Then exhale, fold all the way forward, hands down at the ground. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend your knees a little bit. Step your right leg way back. Push into your palms and step the left leg to meet the right, coming into a plank position. Wrists are under the shoulders, arms are straight. Chest pulls slightly forward. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, put your knees down. Extend the toes away from you. Bending the elbows slowly, lower your whole body until you're lying flat on the floor. From here, lift the shoulders up, elbows in, and then slowly lift your chest up off the ground, keeping the pelvis pressing. The feet press, the knees lift. Hold. Breathe. Exhale, chest down, forehead to the floor. Curl the toes under and press back to downward facing dog. Deep breaths. And walk your feet to your hands. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up all the way, arms reach. And exhale, Samastitihi. Palms return back to the heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back, top of a push-up. Hold here. You're either going to put your knees onto the floor or Lower down 5 inches off the floor, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, either cobra or come into upward facing dog. Hold. You press down into the feet. Try to get the pinky toes to touch. You lift the inner thighs. Firm the butt. Keep pushing down into your arms. Shoulder heads draw back. And then pull your sternum through the upper arms. And if you can, look up towards the ceiling without crunching into the back of the neck. Take a deep breath. Exhale, downward dog. Breathe. Step your right foot between the hands, come down onto your left knee, come up onto the fingertips. Right ankle is directly underneath the right knee. You're going to place both hands onto your right knee. Begin to lift the torso up and slightly straighten your right leg so that your left hip is directly on top of the left knee. Hold here. You're going to draw the right hip back. Take your tailbone into your body so that the frontal hip bones are lifting. And then keeping the integrity of your sacrum, you're going to begin to bend that right knee a little bit more without collapsing into that lower back. So you're feeling the stretch along the inside of that left hip. Keep breathing. Don't worry about how deeply you bend into that right leg. More importantly, keep that integrity within the pelvic cavity. Bring both arms up over your head. Hold here. Breathe. Inhale, look up and touch your palms. Exhale, both hands down onto the floor, hold. Keep your left fingertips onto the floor, and inhale, the right arm reaches, making a twist. Pull the sternum forward. Exhale, both hands down. Curl the back toes under. Lift the left knee up. Step back into a push-up position. Hold here. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, downward facing dog. Reach into the floor. Step your left foot forward. Stay on the ball of the back foot. Hold. Deep breath in. Exhale the right knee down. Extend the right toes away. Place both hands onto that left knee. Straighten the arms. Lift the torso as you straighten that left leg a little. So now the torso is in Tadasana. So you rotate that right hip forward. You let the frontal hip bones lift. Slowly begin to bend that left knee without dumping into the lower back. So you feel the stretch happening along the inside of that left hip. Keep breathing. Go as deep as you can, keeping the integrity within the pelvic cavity. Then inhale, both arms reach. Hold here. Look up, touch your palms if you can. Then exhale, both hands down. Stay on your right fingertips. Inhale, that left arm comes up. Breathe. Pull the sternum forward. Try to let your right shoulder pull down the back. Bend that left knee a little deeper. Exhale, both hands down. Curl the back toes under. Lift the right knee up. Step back into into plank position. And then exhale, downward dog. Stretch through the arms. You're going to bring your right knee into your chest, rock into a push-up position, tuck your forehead towards the knee, hold and breathe. Push the floor away. Downward facing dog, lift that right leg up, keep the foot flexed. Drop your right hip. And And exhale, release the right leg. Bring your left knee into your chest. Rock into a push-up position. Bring your forehead to the knee. Keep the lower belly scooped in and breathe into this, just this very deep core work. And downward facing dog, lift that left leg, flex the foot, drop the hip, reach through both arms. And exhale, release. Stretch it back. And walk your feet to your hands. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Walk your hands forward so your wrists are underneath your shoulders. Keep your spine elongated. And then just gently lift that right leg up. Drop the right hip. Flex the foot and breathe. Pull the sternum forward and press firmly into the left foot for balance, for stability, for a sense of groundedness. One more breath. And exhale, lower your right leg to meet the left. Inhale again, lengthen the spine. Lift your left leg up. Drop the hip. Let the sternum continue to pull forward. You got to grip your right thigh though, so the thigh is lifting up off the kneecap. Pull the sit bones in, like squeeze the legs. And then keep lengthening the sternum forward. Breathe. And then lower the left leg to meet the right. Inhale, look up. Separate your feet hips width apart. Grab hold of the big toes. You're going to inhale, lengthen. Exhale, begin to bend the elbows. Come about halfway down, not all the way, so your back remains straight. Press into the feet. Lift the thighs. Tip the tailbone up a little. And then pull it a little deeper. Relax your neck. Keep breathing. Again, lift the quads. Tip the tailbone slightly. Pull it in a little deeper. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Hands onto the hips with a flat back. Come up to stand. Feet together, palms right at the heart. Take a moment to ground yourself. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back, top of a push-up. Either put your knees down or lower chaturanga. Inhale, either cobra or upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Hold here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale with a lion's breath. Step your right foot forward. Stay on the ball of the back foot. Pressing into the feet. Inhale, slowly come into a high lunge into crescent pose. You're going to interlace your fingers except for the index. Now don't worry about bending that right leg at 90 degrees, not yet. Keep the back leg straight. Rotate the left hip forward. Take the tailbone in just like you did in the low lunge. Only then, when you have the stability of that back leg, do you want to begin to bend that right knee. Keep breathing. Look upward towards the hands if it's possible. Exhale, release, both hands down. Step back into a push-up position. Either put your knees down or lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward dog. Take a breath. Step your left foot forward, stay on the ball of the back foot. Inhale, come on up into crescent. So again, you want to make sure that you've got the right hip rotating forward. The back leg is straight, so the thighs pushes into the hamstrings. The tailbone draws in, but you're not tucking, you're not overdoing that action because there is a natural curve in the lower back. But you want to feel the frontal hip bones lift. So you're getting as much space from your left hip off of that left thigh. Then you bend that left knee a little deeper. Again, don't worry about how deep you go. More important that you've got that right leg straight. Then inhale, bring your arms up over your head. Interlace your fingers except for the index. Stretch the arms up. Then sink the left knee a little bit more and breathe. And exhale, both hands down. Step back into push-up position. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Come down onto your knees. Come down onto your forearms. And you're going to interlace your fingers. Make sure your elbows are directly underneath the shoulders. You don't want your shoulders to collapse down. You want to press into the forearms and lift the shoulder heads away from the elbows. Toes are curled under. Pressing down into your forearms, straighten the legs. It's okay to keep them slightly bent if you need to, but push as much as you can. The shoulder heads away from the ears. Then if you can, press the legs straighter. Using the legs, the tops of the thighs press back. Tailbone lifts. Breathe. Come down onto your knees. Come onto all fours. Take your right hand, bring the wrist directly underneath the breastbone. You're going to extend the left leg back, same way you would for a pose like warrior 1 or 2. So the foot is flat. The outside edge of that left foot pushes into the ground. Inhale, open the chest. Bring your left arm straight up to the ceiling. Try not to let your right shoulder curve in towards the shoulder. Pull it back and down. Look up towards that left hand. Reach the left arm out over the ear. Open the chest and breathe. Left arm up, look down, come back onto all fours. Extend the right leg out, turn the outside edge of the right foot flat, and stay on the ball of that left foot for more balance and support. Left wrist is directly under the shoulder. You open up the right chest, bring the right arm up, look up towards that right hand, take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, stretch the right arm out over the ear. Keep breathing. Tailbone draws in, or rather the tailbone draws down towards the right heel if you can imagine. Sternum lengthens. Right arm up, look down, both hands down, come onto all fours. Again, you're going to come down onto your forearms. This time you're going to place your palms into Namaste. Keep the elbows underneath the shoulders. Push down into the forearms and lift so your knees are coming up off the floor like they would for downward dog. Push firmly into the forearms and stretch as much as you can. The shoulders away from the ears, bringing your ears aligned with the upper arms. The tops of the thighs press back. Keep breathing. Just go right into the sensation that you feel. Breathe into that sensation. Come down onto your knees. Come back onto all fours. Inhale, arch the back. And then stretch back, downward facing dog. Breathe. Step your right foot forward, turn your back foot flat. Inhale, come up into warrior one. From here, you're going to release the arms, interlace your fingers behind your back. Turn your torso towards, just angle it more towards your right knee. Stretch the arms straight, but keep your fists connected. Inhale, open the chest. Hold, bend the knee a little deeper. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, fold to the inside of that right leg. Stretching the arms overhead. Just breathe. Inhale, push into the feet. Arms come up over your head. You're going to look up and touch your palms. Exhale, both hands down. Step back into push-up position. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Step your left foot forward, back foot flat. Inhale, warrior one. Release the arms. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale, open the chest. So you're going to slide the fists downward towards that right foot. Lift the fists up off your buttocks. Rotate your right hip forward. Take your tailbone in. Inhale, lift the chest up higher. Then exhale, fold to the inside of the bent left leg and breathe. Inhale, slowly come all the way back up. Arms reach. And exhale, release. Step it back. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Walk your feet to your hands. You're going to inhale, look up and lengthen. Separate your feet hips width apart. Slide your hands underneath your feet so you're standing directly on top of the palms. The big toes come up to the wrists. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, fold about halfway. Relax your neck. Tip your body weight just slightly forward. Engage the quads off the knees. Tip the tailbone up slightly. And then pull it in a little deeper. Inhale, lengthen. Release the feet, hands to the hips, flat back. Come up to stand. Feet together, palms at the heart. Take a breath. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, step open to your right, feet wide, about 5.5 feet apart, hands to the hips. Now you want to make sure that those thighs are lifted. From here, you're going to turn your left foot out and your right foot slightly in. The thighs are lifted. Keep the tailbone in. You're going to hinge at that left hip. Lengthen through the left side of the body, extending through the left arm. Place your hand on the shin, on the ankle, or on a block to the outside of that left foot. And then open up the chest. Bring the top arm up. And if you can, look up towards that top arm, otherwise look sideways or down. And just breathe, keeping that right shoulder pulling away from the neckline. The left shoulder pulling away from the neckline. Keep breathing. Now pressing into your feet, inhale, come up to stand. Switch sides. So turn the right foot to face forward, the left foot in. Feet press, thighs lift, tailbone in. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hinge at the right hip, stretching through the whole right side of the body. The right hand comes down the shin, the ankle, a block to the outside of the foot. You're going to open up the left chest, the top arm reaches. Breathe. Just look for space, and in that space, bring the breath. Inhale to stand. Turn that right foot in, hands onto the hips. The feet are parallel, the inner ankles lift, but the weight is still evenly distributed to the bone underneath the big toes, to the border of the foot. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, fold all the way forward, grabbing hold of the big toes. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, begin to fold about halfway. Let the elbows pull away. Let the shoulders move away from the neck. Pull it in a little deeper. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Hands onto the hips. Slowly come up to stand. You're going to turn that left foot out again, the right foot slightly in. Bring your arms out to the sides. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend your left knee. Coming into Virabhadrasana, you're going to make sure that the tailbone is in. Squeeze your right knee open. Again, don't worry about going into 90 degrees at this point. In Virabhadrasana 2, you want to make sure that that back leg is straight. That right leg is pushing up against the hamstring. You squeeze the left knee open, sink it in a little deeper. Reaching through the arms, breathe. Straighten the left leg and then switch sides. Turn that right foot out. You're going to again grip the thighs, tailbone in, feet reach into the earth. You take a deep breath, exhale, and bend into that right leg as deeply as you can, up to 90 degrees. But you want to be careful not to dump your torso into the leg. You want that space off that hip. Arms reach. Straighten the leg. Turn the foot in so the feet are parallel. Hands onto the hips. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Hands down onto the floor. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, walk your hands between the legs a little bit. Keep the elbows bent. And then drop the head and neck down. Relaxing onto the crown of the head if you can. Shoulders away from the neck. You can also put a block underneath your head if that feels more supportive, or just let the head hang. Breathe. Inhale, look up, hands onto the hips, come to stand. Bring your arms out to the sides. Again, turn that left foot out, right foot slightly in. Inhale, exhale, bend into that left knee. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, place that left forearm on top of the leg, open the chest. You're either going to stay here, or if you can, take your left hand and put it on the floor to the outside of the foot. You can use a block as well. You have one. You open up the chest, reach the top arm up, and then reach the arm out over the ear, looking towards the hand, sideways or down at the floor if it feels more supportive on the neck. Squeeze the left knee up against the left arm, open the chest. Breathe. Don't bend the hips too deeply. Maintain that 90 degrees. Top arm up, look down. Inhale, slowly come back up to standing, straightening the left leg as you do. And then switch sides. Keep breathing. Arms out to the sides, take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend the right knee. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, place that right forearm on top of the thigh, left hand to the left hip. Open the chest. Either stay here or put your hand onto the floor or onto a block to the outside of that right foot. Make sure your knee is over the ankle. You're at 90 degrees. You open the chest and then reach the top arm up and out over the ear. Breathe. Top arm up. You want to look down. Inhale, slowly come up, straighten into the right leg. Turn the right foot in, hands onto the hips. Bring your feet a little closer. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, fold, fingertips onto the floor. You want to keep your left wrist underneath where your breastbone would be and put your right hand onto lower back. Inhale, begin to open the chest. Let the hips drop so that the hips stay level. Open the chest and then bring the top arm up. Look up towards that upper arm. Breathe. Exhale, both hands down. Switch sides so the right wrist stays underneath the breastbone, left hand to the lower back. You can also use your block here as well. Open up the chest and begin to twist, keeping the pelvis level so you're not dropping into the sacrum. The twist is moving higher into the thoracic part of the spine. Bring the upper arm up, look up towards that arm. Keep breathing. And exhale, both hands down. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Hands onto the hips. Slowly come up to stand. Bring your arms out to the sides. Place your right hand at the nape of your neck. Bring your left arm behind your back. If you can, try to clasp hold. You can also use a towel or a sock or nothing at all. Just fake it. Put your hands into fists. But get as close as possible. Then take a deep breath in. And exhale, fold. Relax into the neck. Inhale to stand. You're going to bring your arms out to the sides. Switch sides so the left hand comes to the nape of the neck. You bring your right arm behind your back and try to clasp without forcing. Inhale, deep breath. And exhale, fold forward. And as you fold forward, you might find that your hands don't connect anymore. And if that's the case, it's fine. Just let them gently separate. Keep relaxing into the neck. Then inhale, come up to stand. Bring your arms out to the sides. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, fold. Try not to bounce here. Just keep the legs engaged. The upper arms pressing towards each other. Soften into the spine. Reach through the fists and breathe. Inhale, slowly come up to stand. Step to the front of the mat, palms right at the heart. Take a moment just to ground yourself here. Check in with how your body feels. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, step back, top of a push-up, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Step your right foot forward, stay on the ball of the back foot. Inhale, come on up into crescent, arms up over your head. Place your palms into namaste, and then hook your left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Palms press, back leg stays stable and strong. If you can, bring the left hand down, bring the right arm straight up. Keep breathing. Exhale, both hands down. Step back and lower. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. You're going to step that left foot forward, stay on the ball of the back foot. Inhale, come on up. Palms into namaste. You're going to hook that right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Palms press. Either stay here or bring your right hand down, the left arm up. Back leg remains as straight as possible. Open the chest and breathe. And exhale, both hands down. Step it back and lower. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Take a deep breath. At the end of the exhale, jump through to sitting. Feet onto the floor and roll all the way out so you're lying flat onto your backs. Slide your buttocks as close towards the heels as you can. And just take a breath here. Pressing down into your feet. You're going to inhale, lift your hips up. Draw the shoulders underneath you. Reach your hands together, interlace your fingers. Push down into your arms. And then use your legs and push your rib cage towards the jaw. Squeeze the tailbone in and up and breathe. And then release it. Relax the shoulders, walk the feet a little further away from each other. Let the knees drop in. Avoid squeezing your knees into your chest. Take a breath. Again, walk the feet a little closer, hips width. Inhale, push into the feet, lift the hips, shoulders, they wriggle under. You kind of catch the skin in your mat on the mat so they don't slide open. You interlace your fingers, if you can. You push down into the forearms, hips lift, feet press, buttocks is firm so your tailbone is pulling forward, and breathe. And release it. Buttocks down, shoulders broaden. Walk the feet away from each other, knees collapse inward. Take a breath. And then last one. Feet are hips width. Inhale, lift the hips. Shoulders draw under. Either interlace your fingers or come up onto the balls of the feet. Lift the hips. Then you're going to bend your elbows and you're going to hold on to the lower back.
Walking the hands up so the palms are more at the sacrum, elongating the sacrum down. Walk the feet in a little, and then if you can, push the feet flat and lift the hips. Breathe. And then release. And now you can squeeze your knees into your chest. Drop your knees over to the right side. Keep the knees connected, lift the shins, flex the feet. Reach the left arm out. Draw the left shoulder down onto the floor and arch into the spine. Breathe. Squeeze the knees into your chest. Switch sides so that the knees drop over to your left. The shins remain lifted, the feet flexed. The right arm reaches. You arch the back, try to get that right shoulder to remain on the floor. Look towards the right hand and breathe. Squeeze your knees into your chest. Drop your knees over to the right, left hand onto the floor. Look down at the floor and then gently come up. Extend your legs forward for Tadasana, staff pose. You're going to bend your right knee and place the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. You can, of course, put a block underneath the knee. You could sit up onto a block as well if that would feel more comfortable. But once you find your pose, inhale, lengthen the spine so the right rib cage is going to angle towards the left shin. Lengthen through the spine as much as possible, and then grab whatever you can, your shin, your ankle, the foot, and breathe and fold. Close your eyes. Inhale, come on up and switch sides. So you're going to extend that right leg forward. Put the left foot to the inside. Again, you can sit up onto a block or use a block underneath your knee if that would feel more supportive. Then inhale, lengthen. Turn the left rib cage towards the right shin. Walk your hands out. Grab what you can and fold and breathe. Close your eyes. Inhale, come on up. Walk your hands back. Extend that left leg forward. Come back into Tadasana. From here, you're going to come into Baddha Konasana. So the soles of the feet come together. You let the knees drop open and apart. Again, you can use that block or a bolster or a pillow to sit up on so you get some height, or put them underneath the knees. You're going to inhale, lift the spine. Exhale, fold halfway. Use your elbows if you can to gently just put pressure into the tops of the thighs. Inhale again, lengthen. Exhale, fold a little bit more. Inhale again, lengthen. Exhale, go as deeply as you can. Relax your head and neck. Just fold into the pose. Keep your eyes closed. I want you just to focus on the sensation that you feel in your body. See if you can identify the sensation. Is it tight, uncomfortable, open? Does it feel hard or wooden or electric in its energy? Just keep your focus on the sensation and on your breath. With each exhale, just softening a little bit more. Seeing if you can drop in just that much more deeply into the stretch and into your experience of the sensation. Notice the impulse to fidget or fantasize or check out completely. Watching each breath. Continually remind yourself to stay in your body, in the sensation, in present time. Inhale, come on up. You're going to bring your knees together. Now from here, you're going to drop your left shin onto the floor. You're going to cross your right ankle above that left knee. So you're shin on shin. Now some of you are not going to be able to do this because your knee's going to pop up. So you're going to have some options. You can let the knee pop up and pull the bottom foot in, then place a block, whatever height is comfortable, underneath the knee. You can come into a cross-legged position. You could sit up onto a block, or you can lay on your back and come into what's called dead pigeon, crossing the ankle above the knee. Gently pull the knee in. This is the most forgiving of the hip openers since it's not weight bearing. Once you find the pigeon version that feels most accessible, put your hands on the floor unless you're in dead pigeon. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, walk your hands forward. Again, lengthen and fold. And now stay down here and just breathe. Just listen to the words I say without obsessing or getting too caught up in them. Just imagine it's seeds being planted. What is so essential to understand right now, because of the quarantine and the isolation, because of the collective trauma, and the overwhelm that we are experiencing because of this deeply shared grief, that information remains embodied unless we are deliberately processing or discharging the energy. When the energy of fear or rage or grief or guilt or shame is not being acknowledged, dealt with, or processed, that energy has no place to go except settle back into our cells, into our physiology, and it forms this tension. Tension, stress, anxiety are the number one causes of illness and depression because of the impact that it has on the nervous system and then therefore our mental health as well as our immune system. With everything that's going on in the world right now, so many of us are internalizing this overwhelm, this unknown, especially this grief, and it's causing us to experience anxiety, and anxiety, if unchecked, we can often want to satiate the anxiety through behaviors that are designed to numb us out, like drugs or alcohol or food or the internet. We can get reactive, pick fights with our partner, our family, friends, shut down, withdraw. These are all behaviors that we can orient to when we don't want to deal with the overwhelm, the sensation of the overwhelm that we're experiencing. Yoga lets us discharge the tension, or rather it helps us to release the tension and discharge the emotion that lives within those coagulated tissues. So breathe into the tension you're experiencing. Try not to run from it, change it, analyze it. Just be with it. All of us have a story to tell. Our bodies want to unravel into that story and expose its nuances to you. But we gotta go beneath the superficial layers of both the story and our tension to be able to connect to the complexities, the wisdom within those narratives. So breathe. Inhale, come on up, and then switch sides. So you're gonna bring that right shin down, cross the left shin on top, come into a cross-legged position or dead pigeon. Use props to help to support the pose if that feels more accessible. Whatever you need. Remember, this is just about sensation. It's not how deep you go. It's your reaction to where you're going when you get to that edge that's unique to each body. So once you're in your pose, you take a deep breath, then you exhale, walk your hands forward. Just breathe into the stretch and into the sensation. So this collective isolation is truly kicking up a lot for so many of us. You know, for some, we're just simply inconvenienced. For others, it's literally life or death. Our mental health is being compromised. Our economic stability is being compromised. The dreams that we have for our future is being challenged. People really are experiencing grief on so many levels because of the sickness and the loss of lives and the lack of access that we have to each other for support. The best thing that we can do at this time, while we're in this time of isolation, is to really look inward. We know that going forward there's going to be a new normal. We know this. But this is not a bad thing because the old normal wasn't working. And this pandemic has proven that, first of all, we are all connected. This pandemic doesn't know borders, states, countries, or continents. The other thing it's teaching us is that we are only as strong, as healthy, as sustained as our most vulnerable. Therefore, if we want to create a life where we individually experience full abundance, economically, spiritually, in regards to our health, we have to be invested in that same sustainability for all folks, especially folks who are marginalized, who are most vulnerable, who don't have access to resources, where the systems are already designed to create environments that are unwell. The old normal supported this separation, and for some of us, we were given permission, if you will, to benefit from this oppression, to participate in it each and every day without having to give it much thought, because it's so normalized within our society. What this new normal is going to ask of us is to reflect, is to look within, is to expose the internalized beliefs that we carry that create separation, to recognize the ways in which we're complicit to oppression, and be willing to transform our own perception so that we can be in service to this world in a more integrated way. This is a time to grieve, to feel, to peel back the layers of illusion, to confront those limits and beliefs, and to take accountability, and to talk about it, to share what wasn't working and why, and for whom, and to look towards a future where we work together to create equity. and to be in service to this planet in a very different way, where we honor her resources, where we give back as much as we can, where we don't take for granted the access or the privileges that we have, and we get more accustomed to community or collective care equal to our own personal care or the care that we give to our family. This is an important moment. It's why these kinds of gatherings are so important, because it reminds us of what the opportunity is, without bypassing the fact that this is really hard and people are genuinely suffering. And if we can do this work and take seriously this moment, perhaps going forward, peace can be created as a result of the time we took to look inward towards our own participation and make commitments to change that which we see within ourselves that is creating separation, so that we can heal those fractures and unify as one. Now inhale, come on up. You're going to bring your legs back together, extending them one leg at a time forward. Reach underneath your butt, pull the flesh back. Inhale, bring the arms up. And exhale, fold, grab whatever you can. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up, and then find your way out onto your backs and come into Shavasana. Get as comfortable on the floor as you can, drawing the shoulders away from the neck, palms up to the ceiling, feet flop open. And just close your eyes. Don't hesitate to cover yourself if you feel chilly, or put a bolster underneath your knees. Whatever's going to allow you to soften. Right now, for all of us, what our bodies need to be able to do this deeper inner work and to feel more sustained is a sense of groundedness. In this moment, allow your body to melt into the earth beneath you. And let yourself be received. Softening your mouth, your jaw, your shoulders, relax your chest, your belly, your hips, relax your thighs, your knees. Soften the legs. And let everything go.
attention back to your breath. Reach your arms up over your head and get a good stretch. And then squeeze your knees into your chest. Roll to your right side. And then press back up into a seated position. And sit up as tall as you can. Placing your palms onto your lap, your thumbs touching. Let the shoulders relax down your back. And let's just take about a minute to sit together. Just feeling just the power of this shared experience. And what it means to do the inner work. To open our hearts, to see a bigger picture to why things happen the way that they do, and to open ourselves to spirit within and beyond, in the name of unity, in the name of love. Place your palms into Namaste. And together we take another very deep breath in. Exhale it out through the mouth. And then we close this practice by giving thanks to God for our health, for our wellness, for our one earth that we live and share, for all the resources that we have access to, the air we breathe, the food we eat, water, the love. We ask, may we never take a single moment for granted, and instead may we live in wonderment and in awe for the beauty, for the magnificence, for the fragility of it all. We ask for strength as we continue moving forward on this path, for the patience that is necessary as we open our hearts to each other and to love. We ask to keep doing this inner work with commitment, with fortitude, so that together we can create a world that is free and fair and equal and safe and healthy and peace-filled and loving for all beings everywhere. And then together we offer this blessing of gratitude and this commitment to do the inner work for the benefit of all, with one single Om. Take a deep breath in. And lower your chin to your chest. Open your eyes and inhale. Come up. Thank you all so much for this opportunity to be in service to you, to breathe with you, to connect, to pray, to heal, and to come together as one. God bless, be well, stay healthy. Namaste.